Hey model car fans, welcome back to the channel. Welcome back to Ducky's Model Cars. Or if you're new to the channel, welcome to the channel. And today I'm going to be doing another car review for you. And I'm going to call this one a little bit of, I guess, from the vault car review, as it's not a brand new car. To me, it's one I've had in the collection for a little over a year now, but it is an AUTOart model that if you watched my previous AUTOart models unboxing for 2023, you will have seen a different spec of this car in that video. And I know I said back in that one that when I had the opportunity, I would try to do more individual videos of each of those cars for you guys on the channel. So today that's exactly what we're going to do, and today's model is going to be the Aston Martin DBS Superlegerra. So here we go. Here is the AUTOart Aston Martin DBS Superlegerra. Now my model, as I said, I've had it for a little over a year now. I absolutely love it. Of course, my spec here is in the hyper red color, and I guess the quick backstory as to why I chose this one is that the first one of these cars I ever saw in real life at a car show was exactly in this spec with the hyper red, the black roof, the black wheels, and I believe the silver calipers. The calipers might have been different, but anyways, yeah, the very first one of these vehicles that I saw in person was this color. So when I saw AUTOart was making the model, I had to jump on it, and it's absolutely gorgeous, and it fits right in my Aston Martin collection. As I said or showed in my AUTOart unboxing video for a new model for 2023, AUTOart's kind of gotten into the second batch of these models. They had a first batch of colors, I think, like blue, black, a silver, the red, of course, and I think even in a yellow color maybe. And then now for the second batch, they have, I think, a slightly different silver, Caribbean blue, a couple other colors. I'll put information down below if you guys want to know and see all the specs. Guys, but we'll start off at the front of the model, and we can see kind of that classic Aston Martin style grille. We can see on the model there, it has a really, really nice mesh pattern, and it actually is mesh that you can see right through into the radiator. Behind, we can see on the front there are sensors, which I believe are like parking sensors and other kind of maybe cruise control sensors on the real car. Of course, we can see it has the front splitter piece here, which is finished in carbon fiber. Hopefully you guys are gonna be able to see that over camera. You can see a little bit of the weave in the light over on this side. The badge on this car is finished in the classic Aston Martin color, so kind of that chrome or silver finish with all the green writing accents. Another option for this car is fully blacked out, or I think also a carbon fiber option, so I'm not sure. I'll have to double check if any of the AUTOart specs have that on it. But we can see amazing headlight detail with this kind of odd shape that Aston Martin is known for. Of course, the LEDs. Don't mind some of the gaps. I didn't quite close the hood properly. We'll get to that in a moment. But we can also see there's the vents on the side here, which again, we can see the mesh detail in. So yeah, everything on the front of this model is very awesome. You can see a little bit better the mesh on this side. And then if I just move on to the hood for a second, we can see it has the hood vents. There's 4 slats on each side, and they're finished in carbon fiber. Again, not sure if the camera's gonna quite pick that up, but the hood vents are finished in carbon fiber, of course, as you would get on the real car. And we can also see all the various aero ridges built into the vehicle, and they're not just a sticker or anything. The hood is actually formed, so you might not be able to tell on camera, but if I run my finger over that, you can actually feel the ridge in the middle, so that's awesome. Of course, the other little aero vents on the side. Sticking with the hood, and I guess the last thing I want to point out here, guys, is that, again, as with the real car, you have the Superlegerra logo indented there. Oh, apologies, guys. The focus doesn't want to really work that well, but you can see right there on the model, we have, I move my finger, we have the Superlegerra logo. If we move to the side of the car, we can see there's also the DBS logo down there, so I guess just in case you ever forget which model of vehicle you're in. Moving on to the wheels for a second, of course, like all AUTOart models, we get nice rubber tires on here. All the wheels spin, of course, the front wheels, the back wheels spin. The model is fully, I guess, drivable or movable in that sense. You can also see the great details, the brake caliper there with the Aston Martin writing on it. Again, the camera doesn't really want to focus on it, but we can clearly see the writing on there. I'll post some pictures up here as well, guys, with some more detail. Of course, we have the Aston Martin wings logo in the center with the bit more light. We can see the awesome wheel pattern that this car has, and of course the carbon ceramic brakes. If we keep moving from the front to the back of the model, I will open up things in just a moment here, but again, it might be hard to see on the camera, but the entire roof is blacked out and it's actually carbon fiber, so you might be able to hopefully see the weave pattern that goes all the way across. Sorry about the reflection of the lights up above me here. Yeah, we can see the awesome door handle detail there, guys. We can see a little cutout. Of course, when the car is locked or moving, it sits flush. They don't have the detail in the model, but of course you would walk up to your real car, you would push in there, the handle pops out. You can open your door. We can even see the little key detail in case the electronics in your car ever stop working. And because this is an Aston Martin, a car that is, of course, built over in England, this model is actually right-hand drive. So, of course, on the driver's side here, you're going to have your little keyhole. But if we go over to the passenger side, again, we have the same detail over there. So, yeah, it's just little things like that, which I like that AUTOart puts in. They even put in the little keyhole cutouts for the door handles. And then moving on from there, we can get to the mirrors quickly, which again are also finished in the carbon fiber detail, which I'm hoping is coming across on camera. Get some extra light on there, you can see all the carbon fiber detail on the side mirror, and again the carbon fiber detail over the roof. Again, those the hood vents, and of course the carbon fiber on the front splitter. And also, while I have the lights on here, we can talk about the hyper red paintwork a little bit. You can see if I take the light off, it looks just kind of like a flat red. But as soon as you hit some light, you can see all that sparkle in there. It looks a little bit yellow just because I'm shining the light on it and from my cell phone, which is slightly intense. But if I kind of offset it there, we can see all the sparkle in it, which again, if you guys have ever seen the real hyper red paint in real life, it actually sparkles. Again, I'll put some pictures up on here so you guys can get a little bit of a better idea of what this paint looks like. And then quickly, before I open it up, guys, we can take a look at the back here. Again, awesome detail. We have the license plate there. And one thing, again, with the AUTOart models is the license plate always kind of says what the model is. So, of course, in this case, we have the Aston Martin DBS. If you ever display this car, I guess looking at it this way, you always know exactly what model you're looking at. Sticking with the logos for a second, we can see in really bold and easy to read lettering, Aston Martin across the back. Again, the taillight detail is awesome. I guess if I could nitpick a little bit, I would like to see maybe some red tint in there to kind of show off the brake lights. But again, really great attention to detail on the taillights on this car, just like the headlights. I would honestly say that this Aston Martin is probably one of AUTOart's better models, and I'm not sure. Maybe at some point I'll do another comparison of the newer batch to see if they made any kind of improvements. But yeah, I think overall, the way this model looks from the outside is a really good representation of, I guess, the 1-to-1 scale real car. Let me go ahead and open it up and show you exactly what you get, because like all AUTOart models, you can open up pretty much everything on this car. So in order to open up the car, we're going to grab here our handy AUTOart key. So we'll start with the doors. And of course, if you guys know the Aston Martin doors, they're a little bit famous for being swan doors. So while they're not maybe as cool as Lambo doors, which open up, or Koenigsegg doors, which have the cool flip forward, or even gull-wing doors, they aren't exactly just your standard swing out doors. So the passenger side door is fighting me a little bit. So real quickly, if we get our key just inside the door slots there, you can go ahead, pull it open, and hopefully you can see on the camera there, if I just do it quickly, you can see that the doors do swing out, but they also ever so slightly swing up. If I turn the model this way, you can hopefully see that little bit of lift in the door. It's not a lot, it's really subtle, but again, it doesn't just swing out normally like your conventional doors. So it is kind of a cool thing that Aston Martin does. The passenger side door does open. It's being a little bit finicky right now, so I'm not going to force it. But since we have the driver's side door open, before I'll go ahead and open the trunk and the hood, let's take a quick look at the interior. I'm sorry if the lighting's not 100%, but the entire interior on this car is just completely blacked out except for the button details. But of course, as I mentioned, being that it's a car from England, it's right-hand drive, and I believe all the Aston Martins by AUTOart are right-hand drive, except for I think maybe the Vulcan race car. Don't hold me on that. I'm not 100% sure. All I know is that the 3 Aston Martin models that I have in my collection are all right-hand drive vehicles, which again makes sense given where they're from. But quick overview of the interior. We can see some really cool details with the steering wheel. It's kind of that circle but squared off-ish style steering wheel. Of course, in the center console there that we can see, it has kind of that classic Aston Martin waterfall, but of course updated with this generation of car. We can see on what would be the nav screen, the DBS logo on there, and all the button functions. Even the detail on the air vents in here is really nice. On the door sill there, I don't think the camera will pick it up all that well, but we have the little plaque on the door sill right here that has the Aston Martin logo back here, and also, of course, again says DBS. So just one other reminder as you open the door to your Aston Martin that you know exactly what model you own and are driving and are sitting in. So I got the passenger door open so we can see some more details on the door cards, and so we can see the speaker there, of course, the speaker, the door handle to get out, of course, the handle to pull it. We have our little storage cubby here, which in a nice detail is actually hollow, so hopefully you can see in there, if I get the angle right, that I can actually kind of set the key in there and it'll stay. So again, just another small attention to detail, another cool thing to see on the car. Again, we get a shot of the passenger side. We can see the seats, which looks awesome, and we can even see the seat controls kind of on the side of the center console there. We have them there for the passenger. And if I come back over to the driver's side, you can see the seat controls for the driver. So yeah, there's a quick little overview of the interior, and now let's go ahead and open up the front. Before I get into the hood and looking at the engine, I just want to also point out that you can fully open the trunk on this car as well, and it even has a nice felt detail on the inside. You guys might be able to hear as I run my finger over it, but yeah, really cool. And actually, for a model, actually a really big trunk. Of course, again, attention to detail. The 1:18 scale, of course, is the exact same as the 1:1 scale real car. So it's also cool too, I guess, if you ever wanted to maybe hide anything in the trunk of your model car, you could. Like for example, the key that comes with all AUTOart models easily fits in the trunk. You can close it up and no one's going to know that it's even in there. Now finally, guys, if we come around to the front of the car, we can open up the hood, which is one of the cooler hoods to open on any car. So just like on the real car, guys, you might think that it opens up back this way, but in fact, it actually opens forward this way and up. So all you want to do is carefully, with 2 hands, kind of lift it up gently at the back, and then you want to come around to the front here and lift up on the front. Let me try to switch my hands here so you guys can see. You kind of want to come over here by the headlights and gently lift up. You're going to feel in the middle here, there's a little bit of a hinge where the hood actually hinges and latches. And then once you've pulled it up, you can go ahead and pull the whole thing forward. So you get that really cool look as it kind of opens up in front of the headlights. And then we can have a look at the beautiful engine in here. Of course, the DBS being what it is, it has a V12, 5.2 liter V12 twin turbo, one of the famous engines from Aston Martin. And yeah, AUTOart completely nailed the detail on this. Of course, we can see the engine there, kind of sitting right behind the front axle. So it's like kind of a mid front mounted engine. We can see the lovely cross bracing details and the little brackets that hit onto the struts. I don't know exactly the placement of everything on here, guys, so I'm not going to point everything out. This isn't a big car review, but again, we can see the details there with the air boxes on the front, and then just kind of the all black underside of the hood. But yeah, like I said, you get this really cool view over it with kind of the cutout for the headlights on the front, and then we can see up there the mechanism that opens and closes the hood. We interrupt this model review to say hi to the cat Luke. Say hello to the people. What do you think of the car? Hey, you've been around it for a while. What do you think? Oh, you sniffing everybody? Okay. Yes, this is my cat Luke. Oh, that's gonna be the next review over there, guys. A little sneak peek. But yeah, say hi to the cat. And now it's time for him to get off the table. Sorry about the little cat interruption. He just had to jump up on the table and see what we're doing and say hello. But yeah, so as I said, just to finish off with the engine detail here, everyone, you can see the hinges there, and hopefully when I close it, we might be able to see them in action a little bit there, where you can see it. Oh, you have the hydraulic struts. We have the hydraulics right there. Then we have the actual hinge mechanism there, the two red bits. So then all you want to do to close the hood back down is you want to kind of put the whole thing down a little bit. Again, we'll come to the front. We'll come right to the middle here. We're going to just, with a couple of fingers, gently push it in until you see it latch all the way back. And then you can go ahead and just gently press the entire thing down. And there we go. Our hood is closed again. Actually, good thing to point out here on the front, there's kind of some little clips that the engine sits in right by the headlights. So you can see there how I have a little gap. So if that happens to you, if you guys have this model, just go ahead, I guess, hold it gently, take your thumbs, and you can just kind of push it down. You're going to hear and see a little bit of a click like we saw in there, and then there we go. We have back to our normal panel gaps. So yeah, just one thing to watch out for there, guys. There are kind of almost some little guiding pins that show you where the hood should go down. But real quickly, before we end off, I'll show you guys the bottom, because again, another thing that AUTOart does well is the kind of underside details of the car. So of course we can see the control arms that come onto the wheels there. And we can see that again, they can turn, and then we can see all the different exhaust work out to the exhaust pipes and various different protective plates underneath the car. We see the differential there, and yeah, it's just really cool that it's probably not a detail that a lot of people are going to see if they have their cars displayed. Most of the time your car is going to be displayed this way, obviously, so you can see the beautiful body. But I guess if you have a glass cabinet like I do, or you just want to flip it over and look, it's really cool that they add in so much detail underneath the cars for something, I guess, really as simple as just the exhaust of your car. And I guess speaking of the exhaust, we can see it has the two tailpipe exit on each side, so it has a quad exhaust. And yeah, just a really cool detail that I like on the AUTOart cars. But that's going to do it for this review, guys. I guess if you want my quick synopsis of this model, I think it's a straight 10 out of 10. Of course, I realize the spec color might not be for everybody. Again, as I mentioned with my story at the beginning, I absolutely love this color option and this spec option, so it was definitely the one for me to have. Once again, there are a lot more different color options that you can go for, and some slightly different specs with interior as well, and wheel color and everything. I'll put a link in the description down below if you guys want to go and check out every model that AUTOart makes and currently has for sale. Again, if you guys are looking for places to go buy cars, down in the description below, check out my friend Keith's store, Keith's Model Cars, my friend Derek out at Toronto Motorsports, and of course eBay and other sellers down below. But yeah, all the information is going to be down below. But yeah, as I was saying, guys, 10 out of 10 model. I think AUTOart absolutely nailed it, like they've nailed every Aston Martin model. Definitely something I think you should pick up for your collection if you're collecting, and especially if you're an Aston Martin fan. But yeah, I think that's going to do it for this review. If you guys did enjoy this video, please give it a big thumbs up. Remember to subscribe to the channel for more, and stay tuned, because as you guys saw, I have another model just off to our left over here, which I'm going to be reviewing next. So yeah, again, thanks for watching. I'll see you all in the next one. Bye.